Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 18 of Pursuing Your Personal Pentecost. In chapter 18, we find Paul preaching in Corinth. He is becoming frustrated with the religious, hard-headed Jews, and as they oppose him and revile him, he gets to this point of frustration where he's just like, he pats the dust off his clothes and says, I'm done with you. I'm absolutely done with you. He says, your blood be on your own heads. From now on, I'm going to the Gentiles. He's had enough of these religious people. And, I could totally understand where he was coming from. When I was filming Secretariat, it was a time in my life where I was on fire for the Lord. I just received this amazing prophecy that I would ride a champion, and the prophecy had come to pass. I'm now starring in this movie, or filming this movie, riding my champion that God prophesied to me. And so, I'm excited about what God's doing, and I'm wanting to share it with everybody on the set. And the problem was, most of the people on the set weren't interested in it. There were a couple that listened to me because, prophecy kind of sounded like fortune telling to them. And so they thought, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. But, I'd get into my story and start talking about God, they would quickly lose interest. But, it was frustrating to see people who are so hard-hearted. There was actually a point in the movie where I bought a book by Ray Comfort, who's an amazing street evangelist, and it was entitled, You Can Lead an Atheist to Evidence, But You Can't Make Them Think. And it was practical ways to get atheists to think outside the box, to get them to think outside of their theories and theology that they've been taught. So I completely understand where he was at. At the end of chapter 18, we get introduced to a guy named Apollos, and I'm going to read this account of what it described Apollos as. It says, now a Jew named Apollos, a native of Alexandria, came to Ephesus. He was an eloquent man, competent in the scriptures. He had been instructed in the way of the Lord, and being fervent in spirit, he spoke and taught accurately the things concerning Jesus, though he knew only the baptism of John. So Apollos, to me, represents a lot of the believers today. He's instructed in the way of the Lord. He's fervent in spirit. He's taught accurately the things according to Jesus, concerning Jesus, but he had not yet been endued with power from the Holy Spirit. And that's really the difference in your average believer and your spirit-filled believer. A spirit-filled believer will operate in power. You're going to have power. You're going to walk in authority. So as we press on a little further, we're going to actually into the next chapter, we'll start seeing this with people who were considered believers. They were Christians. They were they believed that Christ had risen from the dead, but they had not yet received the Holy Spirit. And it's a game changer. It is an absolute game changer. If you want to do the work of God and do it in a powerful way, you need the baptism of the Holy Spirit. So that's what we're going to start talking about a little bit more tomorrow, and we'll see you then.